Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're strapping in for what's arguably the biggest, maybe the highest stakes business duel in human history. This isn't just about, market share or who's got the fancier rocket. This is really a race to define the destiny of humanity.
Absolutely.
We are, of course, talking about the huge rivalry between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
It's it's an astronomical confrontation, isn't it? I mean, if you just glance at the headlines, you see rockets, rich guys, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But when you actually dive into the sources, like we did, you realize this rivalry, it stretches across pretty much every key part of our future. We're talking space, AI, transport, connectivity.
Everything.
They're essentially racing to build the future that all of us are going to live in.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We want to pull out the core philosophical differences between them, look at their totally contrasting strategies, and the colossal empires that have kind of sprung up from this duel.
Yeah.
We're going to try and give you a shortcut to understanding why their rivalry matters so much more than just their bank accounts.
And I think to really get the collision, you kind of have to rewind a bit back to the late 90s.
Yeah.
Because that's when they were really laying the groundwork for these huge ambitions. Even though we think of them for space now, the real foundation was built during the dot-com boom.
Absolutely. Musk, early on, he was deep in disrupting finance with PayPal. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Chaos.
Total chaos, high stakes, classic move fast and break things kind of venture. Really aggressive. It changed how we move money online.
Totally. Meanwhile, you've got Bezos.
Yeah.
Former Wall Street guy, right? Starts Amazon. In his garage.
Your famous garage.
Garage, yeah. But his approach, methodical, almost slow, patient, laser-focused on logistics delivery, building this obsessive infrastructure for the really long haul. He wasn't about that quick disruption flash. He was building something durable, something stable, a system.
So even way back then, before they were even seriously looking at space, their styles were set. Musk, the sort of high-speed disruptor, and Bezos, the patient, meticulous architect, building stability.
Exactly. But it wasn't until they both turned their eyes, skyward, that those two fundamental approaches really, truly collided.
And that collision point, that's where you see what you call the great philosophical divide.
That's the core of it, yeah. It's the why. Why even go to space? Bezos started Blue Origin in 2000. Musk started SpaceX just 2 years later, 2002.
Right.
They both wanted to get humanity off Earth, sure, but the reasons, completely different, almost opposing motivations.
I never fully grasped how fundamental that difference was. It's not just like who builds the better rocket. It's practically a moral argument about Earth's fate.
It really is. For Musk, the mission is, pretty stark, almost dystopian, you could say.
It's
survival. Yeah. He looks at, history, potential asteroid hits, the sun eventually expanding, and he genuinely believes Earth won't last forever. Simple as that.
Okay.
So for him, humanity has to become multiplanetary just to survive long term. For consciousness to survive, his absolute focus, Mars settlement, getting us there.
He wants us to leave.
Essentially, yeah. Escape the planet before, the clock runs out. That's the driving force.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Isn't that a bit pessimistic? You're saying his goal isn't improving Earth, it's just abandoning it.
He'd probably frame it as necessary realism, a kind of cosmic insurance policy. Mars is plan B. And that belief, that urgency, it informs like every single decision at SpaceX. The speed, the focus on heavy lift rockets, the massive scale they're aiming for, the rapid iteration. The goal justifies the risk,
Okay, now let's contrast that with Bezos, because his vision, as you said, it's almost the complete opposite. It's driven by what? Preservation?
Exactly. Bezos argues Earth is, it's the best planet, maybe the only one that really counts in the long run. You have to protect it.
Okay, so how does space fit in then?
Well, he accepts that human growth, our energy demands, they're not going to stop.
Right.
We can't just halt progress.
Right.
So his solution is move all the heavy industry, the manufacturing, the polluting stuff, move it off-world into these huge orbital space colonies, O'Neill cylinder type ideas.
Floating colonies.
Yeah, leaving Earth as this residential and ecological sanctuary, protected.
So the clash is, Musk says we got to leave to survive. Bezos says we got to expand into space to save what we have here.
Precisely. One wants to escape what he sees as maybe a doomed home. The other wants to save the home by basically moving the factory and the power plant next door into orbit.
That's a great way to put it, moving the garage.
And this huge philosophical split, it dictates everything about how they actually do spaceflight. Their technical approaches are reflections of this.
Okay, let's dig into that, the strategies. Because this is where that whole speed versus patience thing becomes, like, physically real. Rockets exploding and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Musk's way with SpaceX is it's a masterclass in high-risk engineering. Sometimes it feels like controlled chaos, honestly.
Uh-huh.
The whole approach is just defined by incredibly rapid development and very public failures, especially early on. Remember the first Falcon 1 launches?
Yeah, didn't they keep blowing up?
3 times in a row. He poured his entire PayPal fortune into it.
Yeah.
Everything. Betting it all on just innovating faster than anyone thought possible. Driven by that Mars urgency.
And the sources really highlight the drama there, particularly around 2008, that fourth launch.
Make or break. Utterly. They were apparently hours away from bankruptcy. He'd personally funded it to the absolute limit. It's almost legendary now.
Betting everything on one last shot.
And it worked. That fourth launch succeeded. That single success saved the company and, crucially, landed them a massive NASA contract.
Right, the ISS resupply missions.
Exactly. That changed everything. And that whole aggressive, fail fast, learn fast method using Falcon 9 and now aiming for Starship for huge orbital lift and eventually Mars. It's let SpaceX move at this incredible pace. First private company to fly astronauts to the ISS for NASA. Huge milestones.
Okay. Now pivot to Blue Origin. By comparison, they feel like they're operating in, well, almost slow motion.
They are definitely on a different timetable. Their internal motto, you hear it a lot, is gradatum ferociter.
Which means?
Step by step, ferociously.
Uh-huh.
It says it all, really. While Musk is racing for orbit for Mars, Blue Origin focused for years, almost exclusively, on the New Shepard rocket.
And New Shepard, we should be clear, that's a suborbital rocket, right? It goes up and comes straight back down.
Exactly. Crucial distinction. It's not designed for Earth orbit, definitely not Mars. It's designed to take people, tourists mainly right now, just past the edge of space, give them a few minutes of weightlessness and bring them back.
So it's like a stepping stone or a test bed.
Both, I think. It's a test platform for technologies like their reusable engines and vertical landing, which are key. It's a business in itself, space tourism. But fundamentally, Blue Origin is building infrastructure. They're demonstrating reliable, repeatable flight first, perfecting that vertical takeoff and landing. It's less about getting to a specific destination fast, like Mars, and more about mastering safe, routine access to space, building that foundational layer.
And it's that massive difference in pace and maybe ambition level that really lit the fuse on the public rivalry, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Musk, the disruptor, he clearly saw Bezos' caution as just slowness. He famously mocked Blue Origin, called Bezos a copycat, joked they couldn't get it up to orbit.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, pretty direct. And Bezos, the meticulous planner, he fired back. He questioned how realistic Musk's whole Mars colonization plan and timeline really was, called it impractical.
So it wasn't just business competition, it got personal.
Deeply personal, it seems, rooted right back in those opposing worldviews. Speed versus stability, escape versus preservation.
Okay, so their space strategies are worlds apart, reflecting their core beliefs. How did those same personalities, those same instincts, shape the empires they built, back here on Earth?
That's a great question. Because they're terrestrial companies, they offer maybe the clearest picture of the kind of power and influence each of them is actually after.
Right.
Musk's ventures here on Earth are all about redefining human life through, radical tech transformations. Everything he touches is aimed at upgrading the human experience or human capability itself.
You definitely see that with Tesla. It's not just, here's an electric car. It's this whole integrated software thing aiming to automate driving eventually.
Right. And then Solar City trying to remake the energy grid. The Boring Company trying to solve traffic with tunnels. But maybe the most profound example of his core philosophy is Neuralink.
Brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah. Trying to literally merge the human brain with AI. If Musk thinks humanity needs to transform itself to survive these big existential threats, well, Neuralink is kind of the ultimate expression of that, isn't it? Literally upgrading our own minds to keep pace. His focus is radical, fast, individual transformation.
Okay, so Musk is upgrading the human. What about Bezos?
Yeah.
His earthbound empire feels different, more about systems.
Exactly. Infrastructure and control. Look at Amazon. He didn't just build an online bookstore. He built the world's most dominant, arguably most powerful logistics and retail empire. He's not focused on the flashy end product as much as the underlying system that controls how everything moves, how everything flows.
And the absolute linchpin of that is AWS, Amazon Web Services.
Nailed it. AWS is where Bezos' whole philosophy of stable, reliable infrastructure just shines. It's not just server farms. It's the actual computing backbone for a huge chunk of the modern internet. Governments use it, media companies, huge corporations. It's the digital plumbing for the world, basically.
So owning the plumbing gives you enormous kind of quiet systemic power.
Immense leverage. Yeah. You dictate the rules of the game for so much of the digital world. His power comes from reliable, invisible, ubiquitous infrastructure.
Whereas Musk's power comes from these big, visible technological leaps.
Right. While Musk is betting on, brain chips and self-driving cars, Bezos is quietly controlling the cloud infrastructure that all that stuff will probably run on anyway, and buying the Washington Post. That fits too. Extending influence into the essential infrastructure of information, of media.
It shows they're totally different paths to power, doesn't it? Musk through these big transformative leaps for the individual, Bezos through controlling the underlying systems, institutional power.
It's a really stark contrast. One's trying to, write the operating system for the future human. The other's trying to own the cloud where that OS runs.
And these battlegrounds, they're getting even more tangled up now, right? Moving into digital connectivity, AI.
Yeah, which brings us to what you could call the digital war happening literally over our heads. Satellites. Starlink versus Project Kuiper.
Right. Musk's Starlink, building this absolutely massive constellation of satellites, thousands of them.
Yep, aiming to beam internet everywhere on Earth.
Ooh.
And crucially for his bigger vision, ensuring connectivity for his future Mars colonies. It serves both purposes.
Yeah.
Commercial profit now, existential need later.
Dual use. Okay. And Bezos' Project Kuiper, same goal, basically. Global internet from space.
Similar goal, yeah, connecting billions. But the underlying objective feels different. Kuiper seems primarily about expanding the reach and the stickiness of the Amazon ecosystem.
Oh.
Making sure Amazon's logistics, AWS cloud services, Prime Video, all of it can reach every corner of the globe. Locking customers into that ecosystem. It's about securing the digital perimeter of his existing empire.
Infrastructure again.
Always infrastructure.
And then there's AI, the big one. Both know it's transformative. Both want a piece of it, maybe control over it, even if they talk about it differently.
Very differently. Musk is famously outspoken, almost apocalyptic sometimes, about the dangers of superintelligence running wild.
Right. The warnings about summoning the demon.
Exactly. Yet at the same time, he's building AI. Through xAI, through Tesla's self-driving development. His approach seems driven by this need to ensure AI develops safely, or maybe to integrate it with humanity via Neuralink before it gets too powerful on its own.
Okay. And Bezos. He's quieter on the philosophy, it seems.
Much quieter publicly. But Amazon is investing absolutely enormous sums in machine learning, robotics, automation. Primarily to optimize that vast logistics machine we talked about.
Making the warehouses run better, the deliveries faster.
Precisely. His AI focus seems less about, merging with consciousness and much more about creating this incredibly efficient, almost infallible global machine, minimizing human error, maximizing efficiency and control.
So even their approach to AI reflects that original split, Musk. AI is an existential thing we need to transform ourselves to handle or maybe escape from, Bezos. AI is the ultimate tool for optimizing the infrastructure.
Perfectly put. It comes back to that core divide every single time.
So, okay, let's try and tie this all together. We've looked at their origins, their philosophies, their strategies, their Earth empires, their digital battles. What's the big takeaway here? It's clearly not just about money for these guys.
No, definitely not. Not at this scale. I think it boils down to legacy. It's the raw ambition to be remembered as the person, the visionary, who took humanity into its next chapter, whatever they believe that chapter should be.
And that tension feels so real because their ultimate personal dreams are just so fundamentally opposed.
Radically opposed, yeah.
Yeah.
We know Musk has literally said he wants to die on Mars.
Just not on impact, he added.
Right, hopefully not on impact. But still, that's a specific kind of terrifying commitment to his survivalist, escape-driven vision.
And Bezos, his dream is different. It's those orbital colonies, right?
Yeah, building potentially vast civilizations in orbit, powered by the sun, using resources from space, keeping Earth as this precious gem while moving all the messy industrial growth somewhere else.
So their rivalry isn't just business. It's literally shaping how humanity might survive or evolve through these competing technological roadmaps.
Exactly. Which brings us back to the listener, to you. You're watching this future get built, piece by piece, headline by headline, right now.
So the ultimate question their rivalry forces us to ask is, when this century plays out, which vision actually wins? Which future do we end up living in?
Is it going to be Musk's future?
Yeah.
Defined by incredible speed, maybe radical human transformation, and the perceived necessity of leaving Earth behind to ensure we survive out there among the stars.
Or is it Bezos' future, defined more by patience, by controlling the underlying infrastructure, preserving this planet, by shifting our expansion and industry into stable, solar-powered colonies orbiting nearby?
Their duel isn't just for market dominance. It feels like a contest for the actual destiny of our species.
Something for you to think about, maybe, the next time you see a news alert about a rocket launch or some new AI breakthrough. Just ask yourself, is this a step towards escape, or is it a step towards preservation?